Duck Donnie. Yut ski sweat.
Yo, Donnie. Hello, hello. How goes it? Hope you're having a good day. Good motivation. Good focus. I really suck at the focus part. Let me know if that delay
Donnie.
cleared up.
I'm doing HW.
Doing homework?
/
Oof. What kind of homework are we talking? Are we talking like the coding homework, math homework, history homework? I don't know what kind of homework you'd be doing. I just know that you're doing software engineering. I know that much.
Duck Donnie.
Delay's not bad?
Delay's not bad.
Yeah, I forced a 1 second delay in OBS. Might have to take just a quick second here. I just started stream up as soon as
Duck
groceries arrived, but it's only...
It's SFTW architecture stuff.
It's SFTW architecture stuff. I don't know what S... Is SFTW short for software? What is SFTW?
Duck Donnie.
Oh,
Yeah.
it is. So like building like virtual homes? Or do you mean like DSA? I don't think I've quite ever heard SF or software architecture. Unless if it's like blending houses. Which that's pretty dope too. Alright, let me go grab these groceries. It's only like 2 cases of Monster and 2 cases of Mountain Dew. But I gotta go grab those because they're not where they're supposed to be.
Duck Donnie. In general, it's the general architecture of a project, i.e. the design of requirements, project documents, plan of data, etc.
Sorry about that. It was literally only supposed to be super quick, but I went to go grab the boxes, and I grabbed one too many, and ended up busting 3 cans out of a 12-pack of Mountain Dew. Mountain Lightning, to be exact, because I'm cheap. But, in general, it's the general architecture of a project, i.e. the design, requirements, project documents, plan of data, etc. Gotcha.
Duck Donnie. All stuff that's useless to teach outside of the basics because every company has their own specific way of doing things.
Okay, alright. I'm getting my brain back over here. Alright, all stuff that's useless to teach outside of the basics because every company has their own specific way of doing things. True. So is it like a roadmap? For like a specific project instead of like roadmap? I believe, feel free to let me know if I'm wrong. I believe roadmap is officially used for like, if you're learning this language, it can land these jobs. But in the way that I'm trying to use it is, I don't know, maybe more like a wireframe. I don't know. I'm just trying to understand more, man. I'm just trying to understand more of what's going on. But I appreciate you coming in again, Donnie. Give me one more second here. Ooh, we got some Final Fantasy 13 lo-fi playing today. Let's go. Restream really needs to fix their chat. It's kind of starting to bother me to a point where I'm about to just build my own for the second time. Nice part about Twitch, it's just one API call away. It's not like it hides it. Doesn't do anything like that. Not the browser. We don't need that. We need our... No, it is. I named the window capture browser. Alright. But I hope that's going well for you, man. I really do. Yes. Hope just comes up here and just whispers in my ear, "Are you streaming?" I know. You were being nice about it. I appreciate it. Alright. How's the volume levels? Is the music too loud?
Duck Donnie. Basically it's just harping on the same thing over and over because if SFTW engineering you got things like the design phase, coding phase, testing phase.
Why is it slowing it down? I was reading with you.
Break down the design phase and testing phase over and over in order to ensure that every college student knows the history and every aspect of making all project documents without letting us code anything.
Oh, God, that's rough. Especially with like how long you've been doing it. You've been doing it for quite a while too.
Vol is good.
Good. I know with the last couple, I think it was like really on the quiet end. And I just wanted to make sure that it helps create that vibe, you know, of coming in and relaxing. Because I know with this coding, it's a lot different than the vibe that I want for when we're gaming. Like when we're gaming, we're known as the angry gamers. So we're loud and, you know, sometimes obnoxious and cringy and, you know, stuff like that. But I want the coding to be a little bit more relaxed, you know, like come enjoy the music, you know, have a cup of tea or coffee or whatever, you know, it is that you drink. And you know, maybe a snack or two, depending on how long it is, or how much you like to snack. I don't know. I can't judge. I like to snack. I don't know. Maybe today's comment for this video will be, "What's your favorite snack? What's your go-to snack?" We'll try and remember that. Okay. Equality operators. I think we reviewed this yesterday. Yeah, I think we did that one yesterday. Oh, Netta, no ma'am. I got my webcam thing on, and you running back and forth, it's gonna pick you up. And I don't want that, so this ain't nothing that you're interested in. But if you want to watch, you can pull it up on there and turn it way down so I don't hear myself. Let's see here. Writing clean operators. Yeah, I don't think we did this one. I think we did the one before this one, and then we had to cut off for the day. Let me double check, make sure I'm not falling behind on my texty messages. Fun fact, we have a new bed coming in today. But yeah, we have a new bed coming in today. Super nice. We're going traditional, but not traditional in America's sense. We don't have a whole lot of room in our rooms, so we actually ordered a futon, a Japanese futon. We don't have a tatami mat for it though. That's okay. I think we'll be all right. Writing clean operators. There are a few principles to keep in mind when writing operators as well. Don't use too many at once. If you have statements like Boolean 1 and Boolean 2, or Boolean 3 and Boolean 4 and Boolean 1, Boolean 2, that got real hard to read real quick. Oh. Where it's like not Boolean 1 and Boolean 2, or not Boolean 3 and Boolean 4, and not Boolean 1 and... That got a little crazy. A little quick. I'll tell you what, I'm going to move my chat to the right-hand side. I tend to not really get too far into the IDE, so I don't think that's going to really bother. But at least I will be able to read the left-hand side. No, that's for after. That's for when we're all done and people are watching the YouTube video. They'll comment on that what their favorite snack is. Your code can get very hard to read. That's why you should split them into groups like const John is sick equals has cough or sneezes a lot. Const John is not home equals John say he is abroad. And John's house is empty. Const John will go to school equals John is sick or not John is not home. Use the shortest operator possible. Instead of writing counter equals counter plus 1, I just started to think of something. And Donnie, this might be where I need you here for this question. And tell me if I'm wrong. But in the const John will go to school, does it equal John is sick or John is not home is false? You can feel free to get back to me on that. Use the shortest operator possible. Instead of writing counter equals counter plus 1. So if John is not home equals false, then it will be true. Or if John is sick equals true, it'll be true. So John is not home equals false, then it will be true. Or if John is sick equals true, it'll be true. Okay, gotcha. I think I understand. We'll test it in the future, see if I actually understand it. I really suck at booleans, really suck at them. Use the shortest operator possible. Instead of... Also, fun fact, since it's using...
If John is sick equals true, it won't even read John is not home.
Okay, fun fact, since it is using or if John is sick equals true, because John is sick, there's no exclamation mark, which makes it true, right? It won't even read John is not home. Right, because John is sick is true. So there's no point in going further, right? That's why it doesn't run it. Use the shortest operator possible. Instead of writing counter equals counter plus 1, try writing yes, only because it has two. Only because it has two of them. Okay. That's interesting. That's very interesting. I definitely wouldn't have thought of that at all. But again, I really suck at this whole Boolean thing. We'll get there one day. I'll be able to say I'm good at it. Instead of writing counter equals counter plus 1, try writing counter plus plus. Instead of multiply me equals multiply me times 10, write multiply me times equals 10. So that way we do both at the same time. We declare and we multiply. You will get comfortable with operators the more you use them. The more comfortable you are with operators, the cleaner operators you can write. I could definitely say, like, even through all of the tutorials that I've done, I've been through like massive tutorial hell. Like all of the coding stuff like this through Free Code Camp and stuff like that. I still write it out. I always feel bad showing people my code because my code can be pretty sloppy. But, that's what I'm comfortable with for the time being. If statements. It's time to make some decisions. If statements are used in JavaScript when we want to execute some lines of code only if some statement is true. We can also use if-else statements to execute some code if a statement is true and execute another set of code if the statement is false. In simple terms, it would look like this. If it is raining, go outside and play. Else, stay inside and read. Oh. Okay, phone. Okay, phone. I get it. I just got alerted. Funny enough. I'm sorry. I don't mean to keep getting distracted. Today is a distracting day. I just got 3 notifications in a row. One was from the bank, but funny enough, the other 2 notifications I got at the same time one is Domino's and the other one is Pizza Hut. So it's like they're battling for my attention right now. 50% off new Parmesan stuffed crust pizza. And a BOGO large menu priced deal with original stuffed crust. That is funny. I'm sorry. They're like competing in real time right now. Okay. Only one of the options gets executed. Obviously, it's only going to do whichever one is true. You either go outside and play or stay inside and read. Not both. That's the logic of if-else statements. The syntax for an if statement in JavaScript is as follows. If some condition, and then your curly brackets, and then the code on the inside. First, we write if, then in parentheses, we write some Boolean logic that returns true or false. And at the end, we wrap the code we want to execute if the condition is true in curly brackets. For example, const will print hello equals false. If will print hello, then console.log hello. Const will print goodbye equals true. If will print goodbye, and then we put in the console.log goodbye. So if it is will print hello, if will print hello is true, we're going to console log hello. If will print, or not if it's hello brain. Hello brain. If will print hello's boolean is false, the code in the first if statement does not get executed. Yeah, so I had it right. That's just freaking wording it here in the opposite direction of me. Let me read through the stuff first, and then I will put my input in to make sure that my input is as accurate as possible. So the output of this code will be goodbye. Okay, because will print goodbye is true. And I just did it again. The will print hello boolean is false, so the code in the first if statement will not get executed. The will print goodbye boolean is true, so the code in the second if statement gets executed. Tip: you can write any Boolean logic in if statements. If true and true, if 5 is greater than 2 or some condition here, if 10 what was this one? Shh. What was this one? Don't say it too loud, Donnie. What was the percent mean? Don't say it too loud. The audience is listening.
Duck Donnie. Mod.
Mod? What? Mod? Modulate? That. 2. Absolute equals 0 are all valid. Okay, you are given a number called num. Print the number if the number is greater than 5. So, all right. So, if num is greater than 5, console.log, what was it? Just num? You're given a number called num. Print the number if the number is greater than 5. So console log num. Ba-bam! Another achievement unlocked. It's probably because I'm on here 3 days. 3 days in a row.
Duck Donnie. My Twitch just failed.
Twitch just failed. What happened? What did it do? Tell me all about it. Is it my Twitch or your Twitch? Is it our Twitch? Oh boy. Oh boy. Did we go down?
Donnie.
Twitch crashed.
My Twitch crashed.
It may not have been just your Twitch. It might have been Restream as a whole. By the way, how are the ads on Twitch now? Should only be a minute every hour. You guys get to see more content on Twitch than ever. I turned it as far down as it can go.
Duck Donnie. Yeah, they're good.
Good, good. I was worried if that wouldn't go through. Sorry. We're making live bets. Live gambling. Live gambling. We'll cut this off on YouTube. going all in, boys. I don't like how that's changing. Oh, it's going down. It's going down. It's going down. Now's our time. Now's our time. We only have 148 left. Yep, boom. Match is paused. Alright, we'll chill on that one. I had some really bad losses the other day. I went from like 20,000 down to 0. It was horrible. It was a horrible time. Alright. Else if else. We can also write if-else statements. For if-else statements, we have to write 2 sections of code. And if the condition is true, the first one gets executed. But if it's false, the second one gets executed. I did try and do an if-else statement a few months ago. I did get confused because, like, when I try and test my knowledge on something, I really try not to pull up anything for it. So, like, I go, okay, like, I want to build such and such, and I wanted to do such and such. And I try not to have, like, documentation ready for it. Maybe one of my downfalls, I don't know. But I tried to do an if-else statement, and I couldn't get around the fact that the first one, if it's true, it stops. And I was just, it was rough. It was rough. But if it's false, the second one gets executed. The syntax is, if some condition, curly bracket, code here gets executed if some statement is true, else code here gets executed if some statement is false. So here is a way that they used it as an example. So const password is correct equals true. If password is correct, obviously, you know, we're going to console log welcome to the dashboard. Else, okay, so if password is correct is false, then we're going to go to the else statement, which is console log wrong password, please try again. The output of this code will be welcome to the dashboard. The password is correct, Boolean is true. So the first section of code gets executed. The else section of code did not get executed because the Boolean was true. If password is correct was false, the output would have been wrong password, please try again. If else statements. When we need to make multiple decisions that are connected to each other, we can combine if statements using an else if statement, using the else if statement to specify a new condition if the first condition is false. The syntax will look like this. If some condition, we start our curly brackets, we put a little bit of code here, else if other condition, curly bracket, put our code here, else code here. So we can chain as many else if statements as we want next to one if statement. It is also important to remember that we do not have to add an else statement at the end. We can only have an if statement with chained else if statements. For example, const time equals 15. If time is less than 12, we're going to console log good morning. Else if the time is greater than 12 and time is less than 20, console log good afternoon. Else if time is greater than or equal to 20, console log good evening. Else console log it is exactly 12 o'clock. The output of this code will be good afternoon. The first condition, time is less than 12, is false. So it moves to the next one. The second condition, time is greater than 12 and time is less than 20 is true, so it executes the second block of code and stops. It does not check the other conditions, as it already found one that is true. So now it's time for the challenge. I know I didn't do this yesterday, but I did do it the day before. So the people that are watching on YouTube and are interested in doing these challenges, I will read through the challenge for you, and then I'll give just a brief couple of seconds for you to pause the video, and then you can move on, move on from there once you're done. But do try and, do it on your own first, see how you do, and, maybe let us know in the comments. We got a Discord. You can come join us in the Discord. We need more coding friends in there. So you are given a number variable called marks. The value of the variable signifies the marks that some person scored on a test. Print S grade if marks is between 90 and 100. Print A grade if marks is between 80 and 90. Print B grade if marks is between 70 and 80. Print C grade if marks is between 60 and 70. Print D grade if marks is between 50 and 60. Print F grade if marks is between 40 and 50. Print student has failed if marks is between 0 and 40. Else, print invalid marks. So give everybody a few seconds there, and then we will begin on my end as well.
Duck Donnie. Low-key switch statement is superior if else statement.
The thing is, I can see that. I definitely can see that, but I do have issues using switch statements. And it can just be the learning curve of it, because we also did learn about switch statements too, but I always preferred if else. But I do understand, why people want you to use switch. It is a lot less. A lot less. So if silly.
Donnie. I don't know, switch statements always seem more readable.
Like, if somebody else does it, certainly. Like, I can read it. But me, personally, I can't think of how to write it. And that's where a lot of my issue comes from.
Duck Donnie. I feel that they can be hard to grasp in the beginning.
I will go back and read these out loud once I know that it's good. I don't want to read out wrong code, so just bear with me. Okay, if marks okay, so print A grade if marks is between 80 and 90. So if marks is greater than or equal to 80 and marks is less than 90. I feel like this is still wrong, but we will double check it at the end. A grade. Else if marks is greater than or equal to 70, well, it can't. Okay, and less than. Okay. Yeah. And marks is less than 80. console log. Don't judge me. I don't know why. I feel the judgment. Possibly because I forgot curly brackets there. Else if marks greater than equal to 60 and marks is less than 70, then console log B grade. Else if man marks less than equal to Donnie, if I'm doing this wrong, by the way, don't say anything until the very end. Okay? Greater than equal to 50 and marks is less than 60. Makes sense in my head. Console log B grade. Else if marks greater than equal to 40 and marks less than 50. And then we are going to console log F grade, and then else student has failed if marks is between 0. Oh, else if marks is between 0 and 40. So if marks is less than 40, we are going to console log student has failed. Else console log invalid marks. Okay, so hopefully I did all of this correctly. If I did, good pat on my back here. If not, then I don't know, slap me. So we got function get grade. It's taking in marks. If marks is greater than or equal to 90, then console log S grade. Else if marks is greater than or equal to 80 and marks are less than 90. So this should prevent it from going above or even to 90. So that might be an issue. Console log A grade. Else if marks is greater than or equal to 70 and marks is less than 80, we're going to console log B grade. If marks are greater than or equal to 60 and marks are less than 70, we're going to console log C grade. If marks are greater than or equal to 50 and marks are less than 60, console log D grade. Else if marks are greater than or equal to 40 and marks are less than 50, we're going to console log F grade. Else if marks are less than 40, we're going to console log student has failed. Else console.log invalid marks. It needs to end on an else. So not another else if, it's just else. That's how we know that we're all done. There's no other requirement. If it failed everything before this, it needs to pass on this last one. Okay, so we did get one wrong. We did get one wrong. 95 was fine. S grade. So which one did we get wrong? Maybe it failed 2 of them.
Duck Donnie. Hawk Pikachu.
Pikachu. I wish there was more for the console for us to see. What is this? Just hides it? It's between 40 and 50. Did I get a number wrong somewhere? Greater than or equal to 70. 2 to 70, 50 to 60, 40 to 50. Marks is less than 40. So 95 was fine. Why are these secrets? Why can't I see the other tests? The test. Tests. Why can't I see the other tests? Why can't that be a free thing? You're testing me. I want to see what the other tests are. I want to know what it is I'm failing. Is between 80 and 90.
Hidden test cases make it more challenging so people don't just hard code it to work.
That is true. That is true. I'm wondering if it's the equals.
Duck Donnie. It makes sure the programmer can understand both the question and the way the code itself works.
True. So it's saying is between 90 and 100. So between 90 and 100. That would force it to be between those numbers. But it wouldn't be able to end in a 0. I feel like. Yeah, so like now I failed 3. Oh, we can't control Z. That's not cool. Alright, we need to take a step back. Did I do something wrong with my how I ended it? No, I don't think I did.
King of Dorksire.
Yo!
At Duck Donnie LMAO, that's the goal. Pretty high bar though.
Pretty high bar. What's the goal? What are we goaling? Did we score a point? Are we winning? Are you winning, son? If the marks are less than 40, is between 0 and 40. It should be just as simple as less than 40.
Stuff that competition coding taught me. It
just takes time to get used to it. Certainly. I went in a little overconfident on this one. And we did fine at first. Again, I do wish I could see my console at least. I wish instead of it just telling me some test cases failed, I wish I could see my console.
At Duck Donnie, okay, but hear me out.
But hear you out. Okay, we're listening. You got our attention.
Duck Donnie. At King of Dorksire I'm hearing.
I didn't think that was right either, but I wanted to try it at least.
King of Dorksire. Most of the time if it works we don't mess with it.
Although that's true. I don't think it works.
King of Dorksire. If it
breaks, we redo everything. Yeah.
Duck Donnie.
That'd be a lot of typing.
Dorksire, but like that's bad. That's why we still have legacy code running our airplanes.
Oof. Oh, it's a rough world for airplanes right now, man. A rough life. All right, Donnie. I give up.
Of Dorksire.
What am I doing?
At Duck Donnie, my job still runs on Windows.
What did I do wrong? I have a feeling it's something small, but what did I do wrong? Or can you at least let me know which one it's failing? Which one's not right?
Duck Donnie. Hint, there are two statements that cause this error in your original code. Also put the equals next to or 90.
Also, with equals. Okay. So if Marx is greater than or equal to 90.
You got this, Yutski. We believe in you.
Thank you, Donnie. All right. There are two statements that are causing my error in the original code. Does that include that equals? Was that one of the two?
Duck Donnie. No, but that statement could be one of the issue ones.
Okay. All right. Well, we do have an ask grade output here, but I guess it does depend on the if it's a number.
You can't do it. Prove me wrong.
You can't do it. Prove me wrong.
Dorksire.
Reverse psychology over here. Reverse psychology. Okay. There's two of them that are wrong. So let's check our strings.
Duck Donnie. Flip this.
What the hell is going on over there? Double check my strings. I know that I can type really badly sometimes. Okay, so it's not my strings. My strings are fine. If marks are greater than or equal to 90. So that allows it to be between 90 and 100, the console log S grade. And then it's else if marks are greater than or equal to 80. Alright. Marks are greater than or equal to
Duck
80.
Donnie. Hint 2.
Reread the challenge conditions for each statement. The solution is there. Alright, you're given a number variable called marks. The value of the variable. I can 100% guarantee you anybody that does these challenges on the YouTube will figure it out faster than I will, and I feel bad for that. You are given a number variable called marks. The value of the variable signifies the marks that some person scored on a test. Print S grade if marks is between 90 and 100, which we cleared. Print A grade if marks is between 80 and 90. Is between 80 and 90.
Duck Donnie. At King of Dorksire.
Between 70 and 80. Between 60 and 70. It's between 50 and 60. Is between 40 and 50. Prince. Student has
King
failed if marks is between.
At Duck Donnie King 0457 T King 0457 Pepe Punchies King 0457
Marks
Zelda
is between 0 and 40.
Duck Donnie. LMAO.
If marks is less than or equal to 40. And marks is greater greater than 0. I feel like that one's unnecessary. I feel like we don't need the greater than 0, but I could be wrong. I can only input so many times. I can only run code so many times a day. I feel like our console log for invalid marks is fine. So that's why I keep skipping over that one. I feel like that one's okay.
Duck Donnie.
Hint?
Hint 3. That girl was so fine she's an 11 out of 10.
She's an 11 out of 10. She's an 11 out of 10. An 11 out of 10. It'll click in there at some point. 11 out of 10. But none of them have anything to do with 10. Are you trying to say that one or more of these are scaling over the number? Or force? Force it? Greater than or equal to 0?
Duck Donnie.
Don't take the
Don't
numbers
take
in
the
my
numbers
head too
in my
literal.
head too literal. The idea of it though is there.
Else if marks is greater than or equal to 80. And marks less than 90. Feel like there's not enough hints to give me in world right now. Oh, bro. I'm so glad I did this, by the way. It just shows really where I'm at and that I really need to learn. But I do like how this is going. Like, it's still disciplined.
Do you want the location of the errors?
There's more than one? Oh yeah, that's right. You said there was 2. I completely forgot there was 2. I like this because it's very disciplining. See, the thing is, like, it wouldn't be so stressful if I had unlimited attempts, right? So, like, I could go at this over and over and over again. You know, I wouldn't say
there's more than one.
Like, I wouldn't say that I would brute force it per se, but I feel like if I did pay for the premium, I feel like I would have a little bit more that I could work with. In terms of it kind of holding my hand just a little bit more, right? Like, if I was doing this in VS Code, like, I could just look at my console and I could go, okay, like, test 1, printed this, test 2, printed that, test 3, printed that. Like, I'd be able to actually know where my error is.
NA, that's real. Sometimes I rerun it to see if it's fixed without changing anything.
Changing anything. That's true. I had that happen a few times throughout my boot camp where, like, you did everything the right way and it kept giving you an error and you were working at it for like 4 or 5 hours straight, and then we would come back a week later, run it again, and then it said that it passed. I don't know. I don't know what happened, but it fixed itself. But we don't want to do that here. We know that there's an error here. We know that something is wrong. So the part, okay. Let's turn the lo-fi down just a hair. Just for this, and then we'll turn it back up. So if we have grades, okay, we want 90 to 100 to be an S grade. I've never heard of an S grade, by the way. Please let me know if the education system put it in S grade, because that's craziness. We want 90 through 100 exactly to be S grade, right? And then we move into the else if statement. So if Marx is...
Duck Donnie. S's ain't real.
Okay, good, because that would be way out there. Like, I'd honestly contemplate taking kids out if they incorporated an S grade. That's too much. That's too much pressure. Hell, I'm happy if my kids get straight C's. Straight C's. That's the only requirement that they have. They're not allowed to have a D. They're not allowed to have F's. C's are appropriate. Okay, so I feel like, me personally, I feel like we have, you know, anything above 90 is, or equal to 90 is an S grade. So we move down if it's below 90. Else if Marx is greater than or equal to 80, 80 is our start, and Marx is less than 90, right? Because we can't do 90 again, because if it's on 90 again, it would be an S grade. So it can't be a less than or equal to 90, because then, right?
King of Dorksire. The top of my graduating class had 102 plus GPA.
Is that a lot? I don't know. I don't understand GPA stuff. I dropped out. I dropped out in 9th grade. Second year of 9th grade. It was the only time I was ever held back, and it was because I stopped showing up. I did get my GED though.
The ads these days kinda dope, TBH.
Of course, fucking Donnie's over there watching ads instead of helping me. I'm just kidding, Donnie. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding for the possibility that you're gonna come back and watch this. So, else if marks are greater than or equal to 80, right? Because we want 80 to fall under A. And Marx is less than 90. Because 90 belongs to S. So we don't want it. We don't want a 90. We want below. So 80 to 89 is what we want. Console log A grade.
Duck Donnie. I will say you have fixed one of the issued statements already.
We fixed one of them already. Was it the 0? So we only have one. You told me there was only 2. If marks is greater than or equal to 80, I feel like this is fine. Else if marks is greater than or equal to 70 and marks are less than 80, marks is less than 80, right? Because 80 belongs to A. Console log B grade. Else if marks is greater than or equal to 60 and marks are less than 70, because 70 belongs to B grade, we want C grade. Else if marks is greater than or equal to 50 and marks are less than 60, we want D grade. Else if marks are greater than or equal to 40 and marks are less than 50, console log F grade. Else if marks are less than or equal to, oh, wait. No, we don't want that to equal 40. If it's between 0 and 40. If marks is less than 40 and marks is greater than or equal to 0. Was that it? Did we get it? We don't want 40 as a failed, right? Because we want 40 to belong to F. Please tell me I got it. I'm going to cry.
Duck Donnie. No, I just didn't realize you have.
Still got it wrong? There's still something wrong?
Duck Donnie. The other statement lies elsewhere.
Yeah, it lies. It lies already. It's lying to my face. Alright. The other statement lies elsewhere. And marks is less than or equal to 100? Why do I keep doing is? Like I I know I'm talking out loud, but geez. I don't think it's that.
Duck Donnie.
There's no way. Is it really that?
Duck Donnie.
That should work now?
That should work now.
I didn't think that you would need to do that because, I mean, like, are they really going to put in test code above 100? I guess they're going to put in test code above 100. Okay. Well, I mean, even then, well, no, right, because
Donnie. The hidden cases usually have stuff like 0.4 or 101
True.
or -3.
True, because with that now, that makes it, since it's not between, like if we put in 102, it would fall under invalid marks, right? See, that thinking outside of the box sometimes. Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, God. If anybody here...
Duck Donnie. At King of Dorksire.
He proved you wrong eventually. If anybody wasn't here during our conversation earlier, me and Donnie, on that last one, we're just talking about switches. And how I don't really understand switches very well. I prefer not to use switches.
King 0457 Momo Mutka.
We love switches. Yeah.
WTF King 0457 Momo Mutka WTF.
Oh.
Duck Donnie. We love switches. King of Dorksire. Phrasing.
Phrasing. A little bit of foreshadowing. Future editor me here, please put foreshadowing into that last section. Oh, man. All right, switch. Another way to make decisions in JavaScript is using switch statements. The switch statement is used to perform different actions based on different conditions. The syntax looks like this. Switch expression, curly brackets, insert case 1, case 2, case 3, and make sure to put a break. And default. Make sure to do those things. This is going to be a really rough one. I'm letting y'all know this now. I really suck at switches. This is how it works. The switch expression is evaluated once. The value of the expression is compared with the values of each case. If there is a match, the associated block of code is executed. If there is no match...
My OCD gets me with them not throwing a break in the default.
They did not throw a break into the default. You are absolutely correct. Everybody's not perfect, Donnie. Everyone's not perfect. If there's a match, the associated block of code is executed. If there is no match, the default code block is executed. For example, I ran into this issue with Free Code Camp. I'm sorry. I don't mean to keep breaking away. I'm like having PTSD moments over here of switches. Const day equals Saturday. Switch day. So here's our argument, right? We're taking in day. We're checking day. All right. So we know that day is Saturday. So we create a case for Monday.
King of Dorksire. King 0457, huh?
We create a case for Monday that will console log first day of the week. It's not Monday. So we add a break, we go to the next block of code, which is Tuesday. Console log, second day of the week, so on, so forth. And I should probably read those to try and help with learning it. But I hate repetitious patterns when it comes down to reading, because I'll fall drastically with my reading. It'll get very tongue-tied. Default. Console.log, that day doesn't exist. Oh. You're watching this video later, or if you're not Donnie and have been watching this stream, can you tell me what that is? Give you like a 30-second head start on me here.
King of Dorksire.
It's a sword.
It's a sword.
Sorry, Darkshire. It's not a sword. Not a sword. It's a good try.
King of Dorksire.
French fry.
It's a French fry.
I don't know if we're getting closer or further away.
Duck Donnie.
Damn,
Damn,
he's
yes,
really
you
pulled the
really
teacher
pulled the
move.
teacher
No
move.
kid.
No kid that has the answer you are not allowed to answer.
We'll get to you, Donnie. We'll get to you. It'll be your turn. Did you hear that a lot in school? We'll get to you. We'll get to you next time.
Duck Donnie.
Smack my
SMH my head.
Oh. All right, Donnie. Go ahead. Give us the answer. What is it, Donnie?
King of Dorksire. Oh, it's called Oitimnatug.
I don't even think that was a language of any sort.
Duck Donnie.
It's a backslash. Duh.
King of Dorksire.
Oh my goodness.
Oitimnatug.
It is an escape. So we use this.
Homemade rinse.
Best viewers on streamboo.com. Remove the space at BXDD2NUU. You want to know where the best viewers actually are? The best viewers and one of the best streamers that I watch I'm going to say pretty frequently. I've caught you twice now, but I plan on keep catching you. They're right here. I don't need to go to these bots and, buy fake people. I don't need it. We're right here.
NA, the French fry is
probably
probably
closer to being right, to be honest. Yeah, we just avoid it. So King of Dorkshire, just in case if you don't know what it is. So it's a way where when we're creating a string, so when we're creating text, you see how we're using just one apostrophe on both sides.
Spinning potato, King 0457 potato.
We're using an apostrophe on both sides. So if we don't put that escape inside of there when the apostrophe comes again, it will actually cause the text to end before it's supposed to, which will inevitably end up throwing an error later on. Or you can use double quotes and just avoid the situation completely. Wrap it in double quotes instead. So you can do that day doesn't exist. Like, you can do that instead because double quotes they're different than a single quote and an apostrophe. So, little fun fact for you today. The output of this code will be the 6th day of the week. Our challenge is you are given a number. I typically
to double quotes.
I typically to double quotes. Oh yeah, that's right. You do game design. Duh. You probably have a little bit of familiarities between the two things that we're doing here. I don't know. I haven't dabbled enough into game design yet to see how y'all work over there, but I'm coming.
Duck Donnie. The real ones know that you throw
it in a text file
and then use a stream reader, and then you don't have to use escape characters.
Wait, what?
King of Dorksire.
You're the programmer of the group.
Programmer of my group.
Oh. Is the group you, Ryan, and other people? Like, are you all working on something together? The real ones know that you throw it in a text file and then use a stream reader, and then you don't have to use escape characters. Donnie,
Unity or Unreal.
You will have to explain that one to me. I don't understand that one. Real ones know that you throw it in a text file. I know what a text file is, and then you use a stream reader, and then you don't have to use escape characters. What is a stream reader? Yeah, me and King of Dorkshire are gonna hook up sometime and talk game ideas. Something that reads text in from a file and converts it to a string. So yeah, I didn't even know that existed. There's things that make life easier, I guess. Give me 1 second. My son's having a little bit of a meltdown, so I want to figure out what's going on.
King of Dorkshire. Ryan, Wilson, and I work under the name Fate's Twisted Studio. We make games in Unity. Duck Donnie. Yutsky, disclaimer, that was a joke, please don't do this overly complicated method of making text. Duck Donnie. At King of Dorkshire, yo, that's sick. King of Dorkshire. I have the basics of C# down, I'm learning more about how to do more advanced things. King of Dorkshire. Like switches. Duck Donnie. That's good, I'm certified in Unity Associate Development but never really wanted to pursue much more in game dev. King of Dorkshire. Got my bachelor's and master's at full sale. Duck Donnie.
All right, I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
All right, let me read over this. Ryan Wilson and I work under...
King of Dorkshire.
I moved the chat to make it
TBH
easier to
can't
read, and now it's harder
actually
to
say if
read.
It was worth it though.
All right, Ryan Wilson and I work under the
Duck
names...
Donnie.
Stop typing.
I don't know if I've ever
Names
heard
Face
of many who
Twisted
got a
Studio.
master's
We
in
make
game
games
dev.
in Unity. That is awesome. I have more questions for you now. Yutsky disclaimer. That was a joke. Please don't do this overly complicated method of making text. Challenge accepted. King of Dorkshire. Yo, that's sick. I had the basics of C# down. I need you even more. I'm learning more about how to do more advanced things, like switches. No. 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 The memories, they're coming back.
King of Dorkshire.
That's good. I'm
ha, ha, ha.
certified in Unity Associate Development, but never really wanted to pursue much more in game dev. Aw. Got my bachelor's and master's at full sale. Yep, we talked about that the other day. It was a very brief discussion. Damn, to be honest, can't actually say it was worth it though. Yep, that was a point. I don't know if I've ever heard of many who got a master's in game dev. To be honest, I don't really think I've met many people either. And I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Sorry, the lo-fi is taking quite a dark turn right now. I think it's playing
Donnie. I think it's mainly
some
just
Final
from a lack
Fantasy
of places that
7s.
offer a masters in it.
Yep, chosen by the planet.
King of Dorksire. There was a total of 6 people out of 45 who actually graduated.
Total of 6 people out of 45 out of 45 who actually graduated. And you and Ryan were 2 of them, and possibly this other character, William. I don't think I met this person. Did they all lose?
King of Dorksire. No, I graduated before Ryan.
You graduated before Ryan? And then you talked Ryan into it? How dare you? They all lost. They all lost. They all lost! Ah. Don't worry, we'll cut all this out later. Future me. Cut this out later.
King of Dorksire. Wilson is the other person who plays Mario Kart with us on Wednesday.
Wilson is the other person who plays Mario Kart with us on Wednesday. What is their name? Not their, like, physical name, but what's their Twitch name? Do I know their Twitch name? I'm sorry, we're getting back on track. The challenge is you are given a number variable called number from 1 to 10.
Duck Donnie. Adds more foreshadowing tune to Yutski losing more money on gambling.
Look. It's free, okay? I can at least say that much. I haven't put a single dime down. Here. We'll just do a quick lesson here, okay? It's free, but you can exchange. You can exchange, which is nice. Okay? So I made it.
King of Dorksire. Also, I'm kinda the one who brought Ryan and the Wilson XP into my projects.
I made it in between here
awesome.
and here last year. Here and here. And then Worlds came around. And I bet it all on the wrong team. All of it. I mean, we were talking, if we won that, we would have easily went from here to here. Okay. Now, there is a with deposit amount. So if I deposit enough points to have that much, I can do 650. If I don't make a deposit, I could have had $325 for not spending a dime. Okay, and I'm not sponsored by any of this, by the way. Not Coddy, not esports.
Always put in my money on my goat faker.
On my goat faker, yes. Yeah, that. I love my goat faker. I do. But he's the one that screwed me over last year. He's the one that screwed me. They started so rough on Worlds. It was bad. I mean, remember, this was after he smashed his head on a wall. So he wasn't doing very good at the time. But that's a subject for a whole nother day, okay? You can watch streams to earn those points, okay? So every hour that you watch, you can get 1,200 is the limit per hour. None of them go higher than that, but some of them do go lower. So I always just go for the higher ones. And then every 15 minutes, you can claim 300. So every 15 minutes, you can go claim 300, go over here to esports, the esports section, go bet that 300 for a chance to flip. 2 days ago, I was at 30,000. And then the time frame that I joined in was right before like all of these spring comps really started to kick in. So there was only like 3 or 4 competitions going on a day. So I would bet like high amounts. So like I don't ever actually stress that I lose in these because I'm not putting any money in. It's just the potential of making money. Okay. That's out of the way. So always know, if you ever catch me on there, I'm never getting pissed off for losing. I'm just like, well, you know, it was free money. I do not have an addiction enough to put money down on it. All right. Switches. Let's get back to that. Not the Switch 1 and Switch 2. Switches.
Duck Donnie.
Yo, Yusuke gets to use
his two favorite things, switches and mod.
Switches and mod? No. No! Please, no. I was fine with one. I was fine with one. I was getting there. You are given a number variable called number from 1 to 10. Print odd if the number is odd, and print even if the number is even. Print invalid number if the number is not from 1 to 10. Use a switch statement. Okay. Well, let's just start the switch statement. Okay. So switch number. Our first one is going to be case. You are given a number variable called number from 1 to 10. Print odd if the number is odd, and print even if the number is even. Print invalid number if the number is not from 1 to 10. Okay, so case. Then?
Donnie. IG he can technically avoid using mod.
And then console log. I'm probably doing it. Is it a capital O or capital E? Capital E. Makes sense. Even. All right. And then we're going to break. Okay. And then we're going to create a new case of 9. Console.log odd. Oh, odd. Break. Case. I can hear Donnie's shaking head from
Duck
here.
Donnie. Also, since the example is misleading-ish, whatever you put next to case is what you are expecting, meaning if you throw in a number you should expect a number.
It's misleading, so don't listen to it. Like an umbrella. It's shady. Oh, I won't ever let go of that joke. It is such a good one. Me and the kids, we started watching Comey can't communicate, or Comey don't communicate, won't communicate, whatever it is. And that joke section just absolutely had me. As soon as they just casually said, "Don't trust umbrellas, they're shady," I lost it, and I've held on to it ever since.
Duck Donnie. At King of Dorkshire.
To be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if Dorkshire has vanished. Nothing against you, Dorkshire, by the way. I think there's only so many people that can deal with my shenanigans.
Whoa. Duck Donnie. Nah, he would never leave.
I was trying to save him.
I'm working on videos.
Ah, that's... Like editing videos?
King of Dorksire. Yeah.
Ooh.
Restream.io.
Are you like editing your
Trophy,
streams?
Congratulations.
Something for your outro?
You've received
Oh, that'd be pretty
100
dope.
messages today with Restream chat.
Yo,
King of
let's
Dorksire.
go. I wish I had
So
like
cool for my
some
outro.
sounds to play for everybody, but it's been a very long time since I've seen that, so that puts a smile on my face. It's been quite a while since we've seen the restreams. Congrats for reaching 100 messages on one stream. So good job, everybody. Give yourselves a pat on the back.
https://www.twitch.tv/yutskillgc.
Yo, you said that you were editing videos for your outro. Over here, making clips like a boss. Oh, Ace 1.
King of Dorksire. Oh, I can do botver.
Oh,
King of Dorksire.
I can do both. Man, the TTS really struggled on that one. That is not an even number, Yusuke. Alright. And then Ace. Can't we use not a number here? Or no, we just default. We just default. Default. But look at my brain. It was trying to do something. Valid number. Oh. Oh. Number variable.
Duck Donnie. Trust for this case ITL.
It'll need a default. Okay, you got it. I tell you what, we're gonna run it with the quotes, and then if it doesn't pass, then I know it's because of the quotes. It's because of the quotes. It's because of the quote. Numbers. I learned a little bit about switches today. This one wasn't so bad. I'm probably still foreshadowing.
Don't let it fool you. The fourth one should not have passed. King of Dorksire. Don't worry, I struggle with switches a bit. Sometimes they are hard to handle and other times they do what I want.
Fourth one should have passed. What did I do, Donnie? What did I do? We're gonna run it anyway. Hey, let's go! Let's go! Let's go! None of them should have passed, Donnie. That was pure excitement, by the way. I'm so sorry. I know things have been like pretty calm and chill, but that was exciting. The fourth one only passed because all the other ones didn't function. You know what? Donnie throwing out the big fuck you over here. Let me check out that clip, by the way. I did not mean to completely disregard that you made a clip. It's misleading, so don't listen to it. It's like an umbrella. It's shady. Good clips. Good clips.
Bro, this clip is gold.
I love it. I love it. And I'm one of the people that I can really laugh at myself too, which is good. Even if I tell like a really bad joke or I do something really stupid.
Duck Donnie. Add it to the soundboard.
Add it to the Discord soundboard?
King of Dorksire.
Discord
Hey,
soundboard's only. Emotes? Where are my emotes? I only have like 2. maybe 3. 3. I have like no emotes.
King of Dorksire. WHYY.
Why? Because I'm really bad about making emotes. I didn't even make the 3 that I have. I had a friend who went into the military. He made it for me. And I haven't made any sense. I had a few ideas. I had a few that I was planning on doing because we used to do. How many spots I got?
Spots you got?
Let me find out. Actually, give me like 2 minutes. I have a delivery that came in. I've been waiting on a bed all day. So give me like 2 or 3 minutes because my dogs are going crazy. I'm not so much worried about the bed as I am the dogs going crazy.
King of Dorksire. Okay, time to run wild. Duck Donnie. LMAO. Duck Donnie. The only mod has left the chat.
All right, sorry about that. Just like I said. Just like I said, I was more worried that the dogs were barking than the delivery, and I had a double delivery, an unexpected delivery. Okay. We wanted to know how many slots I have. Give me 1 sec.
But wasn't once I had something to do with it.
Wait, people can attribute emotes now? That's a thing? I don't even know what that means.
Duck Donnie. Table here, table here. King of Dorksire. He don't worry about it yet.
What is emotes under? No, I'm worried about it. You asked the question. I'm gonna do what I can to answer it.
Donnie. V Ohio.
That's bits. Community, hype train, leaderboard, subscriptions. Oh, ad-free viewing turned on for subscriptions now, by the way. So if you are subscribed, you should no longer see ads. I took that away from you guys, and I'm sorry.
King of Dorksire. Lower down.
Lower down.
Duck Donnie. Pock Pikachu, Pock Pikachu, Pock Pikachu.
Why can't it say Pikachu? Or is it not saying Pikachu?
Duck Donnie. I
can no longer be silenced by the ads. Yeah. Yeah, you subscribe quite a bit. So, oh, found it. Huh? What? I have I have 5, so don't think of me as a bad person, okay? They didn't have these back when I got affiliate and everything, okay? So I have 5 open slots for the free emotes. I have 6 open slots for tier 1s. I have no empty slots for tier 2, and I have no slots for tier 3. And I have no bit tier emotes either. If anybody's interested in making any of these things, I'm a big Final Fantasy fan.
LMAO, a lot of people don't realize it's updated.
Yeah, I didn't know. I haven't been in there for so long. I'm so sorry. We're going to be hearing the dogs bark for a minute. There's company.
King of Dorksire. Gimme a sec.
Okay.
Duck Donnie. UNC has been in the game for a while.
UNC has been in the game for a while. I don't understand that one, Donnie. I need you to elaborate on that. Or was that supposed to be Unc has been in the game for a while?
Duck Donnie.
Uncle. Okay.
Uncle.
Being me, yeah?
King of Dorksire.
Uncle
Uncle
me.
Sailed.
Okay. Uncle
Duck
me.
Donnie.
I'm going to get used to this stuff eventually. Some of y'all have been throwing me for a twist with some of these things. Like I saw like Skibbity Toilet in the chat for the first time the other day watching Simple Flips last night. I was like, man, like some of these things I can't even read, bro. It's so bad. So we did it. We completed. What is that? Challenge rehearsal?
Duck Donnie.
I need to call mom.
No, that's foreign to me.
I need to call mom, let her know we're going to a rehearsal. I need mom to know that I need her to be there. She never showed up for any of my rehearsals or concerts. She was always busy. Can you be my mom? Yeah, no, that's foreign to me. Yeah, like that's way out there. But I know there's a funny coding language for all of that. And I do like watching the little videos of people trying to use it. It's pretty funny. It's pretty funny.
King of Dorksire.
I'll be your mom.
You'll
it's
be
fine.
your mom,
Thanks.
it's fine.
Thank you, King of Dorkshire.
It's okay, it'll be your mom.
Oh, I got
I'll
2
finish
moms?
your W.
I got 3 moms. I got 4 moms. I got 4 moms. Because my dad is with another woman. We call her mom. And then we got my real mom. And then we got King of Dorkshire mom and Duck Donnie mom. I got 4 moms. That's going to be awkward to explain.
Duck Donnie. At King of Dorksire.
It's a pretty big family. All right, let's move on. So the break keyword, you might have noticed break, and I shouldn't have very many submissions left either. I haven't paid for the thing yet.
Dorksire. At Duck
Hey,
Donnie
good
Haven.
looking. And just like I explained it the other day too, for the people that want to help with like the VODs, just kind of leave it playing in the background. Obviously, since you were already here live, if you can help with the VODs and let them play in the background, I'd appreciate it, but you're already helping out enough for just being here. But but I'm going to be setting up Banana on my computer so that way I can route the text to speech to a separate channel that will still play through stream, but when it comes to the VODs, you won't hear it. Make it a little less clouded.
I like helping people with things.
I like helping people with things. I do too. I'm a very helpful person. I like to think I am. I tend to be pretty busy, but I'm more or less busy in my own brain most of the time. What did you draw? Oh, I feel so bad. My wife has been blowing me up. How was all that? Oh, she sent me a bunch of pictures from how much work she's done.
I drawed it so detailed.
You did great. It looks good.
Duck Donnie. Blaze gets you enough already. This is our time.
Blaze gets you enough already. This is our time. Hey, we're coming back for the nights. I promise. I promise. We'll be bringing y'all some Final Fantasy content. We're going to be bringing y'all horror game content.
King of Dorks.
We'll be bringing y'all
some
Path of Exile. Some Path of Exile content. You know, like we got things planned. We got things planned, and we're gonna have a virtual controller set up for the Twitch chat for our Can Twitch Beat series. Instead of using the more understandable parsec where one person gets controller. No, all of chat is going to get a single controller. So it's going to be interesting. You guys will be helping us play through Final Fantasy, Shin Megami Tensei, or I like to say Megami Tensei, but if I don't put Shin in front of there, people get confused. Queue up professional tic-tac-toe. I tell you what, one day we'll have like a game of Monopoly or something. We'll have a game of Monopoly. You all can fight over if you're gonna buy a property or skip it. Just let y'all go ham. I know there's a few people that kind of do the Twitch chat play stuff.
Horror game collab
when? You just let me know. You let me know. I'll talk to the wife. You just let me know. But what was I saying? I know now. I know that there's a few streamers that do the kind of Twitch beat stuff. Ghost karaoke. There's a fresh clip of that in the Discord, by the way. One of my favorite moments right there. But I know there's a few streamers that do the series, but they tend to be pretty limited on the goals, where I want to be a little bit more strict on the goals. I want to see me and a few people working with Twitch chat as a character. Twitch chat controls a character. And whoever else that's playing, obviously gets to enjoy the controller, their own controllers. But I want us to work cooperatively through a whole game of something. And then, every once in a while we'll put on something where only Twitch chat controls. Divinity? Like Original Sin Divinity? I haven't played that one yet. You might have noticed break at the end of every case in the switch statements. We must add break keyword. Yeah. I like MMOs and RPGs and stuff too. So that kind of fits my gaming expertise. We used to be pretty big League players. Not big in terms of a bunch of people, but like we played League all the time. We stopped that. We're going back to our roots. We like Brawlhalla. I have a love-hate relationship with Terraria. My wife likes Minecraft. She really likes horror stuff. She never denies a horror game, except for tonight, apparently. I offered to play Phasma with her tonight, and she's like, no, I want to play Path of Exile 2. And I'm like, all right. Yes. The back porch and dogs are barking at it. But yeah, I mean, we got tons of stuff planned. We're not gonna stick with just kind of one thing, but we are gonna have like series of stuff again. Which I really liked having series of things because it helps people understand that we're not going to be on the same thing for very long unless if we find a game that we want to speedrun. The first one I did promise to Blaze is going to be Devil May Cry. So we are going to have that as a segment. So we're going to play through all of the Devil May Cry series. We're going to play through all of the Final Fantasy series, play through all of the Kingdom Hearts series, play through hopefully a good portion of Fire Emblem, because I play Fire Emblem on and off, but never have actually gotten to play it consecutively all the way through. So that will be nice. You know, I got the Tales of series to bring to you all. We still have the Megami Tensei series that we need to finish. We got this guy yet. Like, I can go on for days. But I gotta try and keep that in the other stream because now we're not getting anything done. Now we're sitting here talking about games. Woo! Woo! Yeah, and like stuff like Legend of Dragoon and Lufia, and you know, we'll get there. Chrono Cross, Chrono Trigger, Zelda. Started playing Zelda recently. Distraction. All right. Distraction. All right, you might have noticed break at the end of every case in the switch statements. We must add the break keyword to notify the compiler where the code for this specific case ends. If we don't add the break keyword, all of the code below the case that matches will be executed. So const state equals Saturday, case Monday break, Tuesday break, Wednesday break, Thursday break, Friday break, Saturday break, Sunday break. Default, console log, doesn't exist. Hey, that's familiar. We saw this one. Let's look at the above example. If we didn't have break keywords, the output would have been sick day of the week, last day of the week, and that doesn't exist. It would have done all of them? No. It would have done 6th day of the week, last day of the week, and that doesn't exist. Why? Because it's Saturday. But why would it do... It would keep running Saturday, Sunday, and default. Okay, all right, I understand. Don't answer it in chat. I got it before you did. I'm just kidding. Everybody here probably got it before I did. My bad. Donnie's like, all right, my hands are off the keyboard. You caught me. You got me before I could even type it. I'm talking from the future. The future. Let's say you want to execute the same code in 2 or more cases. You could do it by repeating the code for each case, but we already learned that we should avoid repeating code. Here is what you can do instead. Const day equals Tuesday. So switch and we pass in day, which we know is Tuesday. We have case Monday, case Tuesday, case Wednesday, case Thursday, case Friday. And for all of those, we're console logging wait for the weekend.
King of Dorksire. Rian Re 1 fish milk.
Fish milk. Fish milk. That sounds horrible. That sounds horrible. Like, that sounds worse than expired milk. Okay, Saturday and Sunday, we're going to console log. It's the weekend. If it's not any of those, then we're going to console log. That day doesn't exist. I hate seeing this. I hate seeing this escape that we're using for something that we don't need. You do not have to run a default case in a switch statement. If multiple cases match, the first case is selected to be executed. While loops. Oh. I don't I don't believe my whole course I used a while loop. I know we used for, but I don't think we used while at all. It's time to cover one of the most used concepts in programming. Well, that's bad. Loops. Loops are used to repeat a block of code a certain amount of times. It helps us not have to repeat code, and we can use them to create some amazing programs. There are a couple types of loops. While loops, do while loops, and for loops. While loops. The while loop loops through a block of code as long as the specified condition is true. First, it checks if the condition is true. If it is, it executes the code inside of that loop. Then it checks the condition again. If it's true, it runs the code again. It keeps going until the condition is false. Syntax looks like while condition, yeah. It is important to remember not to use conditions that are true forever for while loops because they will cause an infinite loop and break your program. Okay, so we did learn about these, but we didn't use them because of that. Let counter equals 0, while counter is less than 10. Console log, this is iteration, call counter. And then add 1 to the counter. And then it just keeps looping. The output of this code will be, this is iteration 0, this is iteration 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It first checks if counters is less than 10. It is, so it executes the print statement, executes the increment as well, and counter is now 1. This repeats until counter gets to 9. Then after the print and the increment, counter is 10. 10 is not less than 10, so the loop stops there. Challenge. You are given a number called num. Your job is to count the number of digits. The number consists of using a while loop. Try using a counter to count the iterations while using math to get rid of the last digit of the number every iteration. The iteration should stop once you get through all the digits of the number. Use hints as needed. Okay, all right, start over. Start over. You are given a number called num. Okay, your job is to count the number of digits. The number consists of using a while loop. Try using a counter to count the iterations while using math to get rid of the last digit of the number every iteration. Okay. So, while num less than what? Greater than 0.
Duck Donnie. Hawk Pikachu.
Well, num is greater than 0. Console log this console log num. Counter. I don't think this is right. I don't think that's right at all. It is definitely not right. Why did I use counter? Alright, let's try that again. It was still very wrong. Oh. Okay. So. Okay. So the argument was 6,271. It expected an output of 4. And we counted down by 1, I imagine, all the way to 0. Okay. You're given a number called num. Your job is to count the number of digits the number consists of while using a while loop. Try using a counter to count the iterations while using math to get rid of the last digit of... Okay. I'm so sorry that it took me like 3 reads to finally understand what it is that I'm doing. I still don't understand what it does. Okay. I understand what I'm doing. Okay. How I do it is something completely different. But. Okay. So we need to let counter equal 0. So that's something that we are definitely doing here. Okay. While... Alright, let counter equal 0. We have a counter. Okay. So your job is to count the number of digits the number consists of while using a while loop. Try using a counter to count the iterations while using math to get rid of the last digit of the number every iteration. So we need the counter to count how many numbers are there. So the argument is 6,271, which there is 4 different numbers. Or just 4 numbers in general. 4 iterations. Right? It's the word that we're using here. 4 iterations. So we need to figure out how to... get that number. Bear with me, everybody. Bear with me. Okay. So it iterated 4 times to get that, and then we need it to subtract 1. Your job is to count the number of digits the number consists of using a while loop. Try using a counter to count the iterations while using math to get rid of the last digit of the number every iteration. The iteration should stop once you get through all the digits of the number. This one's up there.
Duck Donnie. Give PLZ take NRG.
I feel like I could be wrong here. While num is greater than counter, then we need to console log. I feel like this is still wrong. This is iteration. No, like we don't even need a console log, all that crap. Right? We just call the counter. And then we -1. No, I feel like this is still wrong. This is still wrong. My brain is still not braining here. So if the argument is 6,271, if 6,271 is greater than counter, then subtract 1 from the counter, that's not going to be right. It's going to be add 1 to the counter. But then it's going to do it 6,271 times. Right? It's going to loop 6,271 times and still return 6,271. Expected output is 4 with 6,271. So while num is greater than I guess I'm really confused on how do we get to 4? How do we get the 4? While using math to get rid of the last digit of the number every iteration.
Duck Donnie.
Question mark. Okay, so if we see down at the bottom, we have the argument for number, which is 6,271. How are we getting the expected output to be 4?
Duck Donnie.
4 digits, yeah.
4 digits.
So, like, are we needing to do, like, index counting? Or am I just overthinking it?
Duck Donnie.
How to get the four of the digits, yes. Am I overthinking this? I tend to do that quite a bit. I'll give you a second to answer that question then. I gotta pee. Potty break.
Duck Donnie. I have the solution, but I don't know how to hint at it without just giving it. Duck Donnie. It's not a super simple one though. King of Dorksire. BRB, I lurk and handle some stuff. Duck Donnie.
That is A-OK, Dorkshire. Thank you so much for the lurk. I appreciate that. Alright, I have the solution, but I don't know how to hint at it without just giving it. Be right back. Ilair can handle some stuff. We acknowledged that. I appreciate you, Dorkshire. I appreciate everything you've done so far. And then Donnie, same thing goes to you. Like, obviously, I'm not disregarding anything that you have done so far. Yeah, I do see that the challenge difficulty jumped up a little bit there. We moved on from easy to medium. Okay. Give me just a little bit more time here, and we'll try and figure this out. My biggest part is that this is using while loops instead of for loops. So if we were doing for loops, it would have been a little bit different. So I want to stick with the context of what we can use here. Your job is to count the number of digits the number consists of. So let counter equal 0. While num...
Duck Donnie. Only hint I can give is it requires an understanding of how int works in Java vs floats.
Really? We do have hints. We do have hints that we can use, and we can use them for free. I just
Duck Donnie.
really tried
JS,
not to.
I mean.
I figured you meant JavaScript. I figured when I read it back in my brain, I figured that you meant JavaScript. Of how int works in JavaScript. All right, I think we're gonna burn some hints here. All right, let's say you have the number 6,721. Could you imagine if that said actually 6,271? Like, we've only swapped two numbers around. You can do 6,721 divided by 10 to get rid of the last digit. You will get 672.1. Now, you can use one of the methods in the math objects that rounds down to the nearest whole number in order to get 672 only. Go back to the numbers and math object lecture if you don't remember. But that's only to knock off one digit. The expected output's going to be 4.
Another way is to just use an int wrapper class.
Int wrapper class. If you already found a way to get rid of the last digit of the number, every iteration as mentioned in hint 1, you might be stuck on when to stop the loop. The loop should stop when you get rid of all digits, aka when the num variable gets to 0. So your condition might look something like while num does not equal 0 or while num is greater than 0. Okay. The third one was a little bit more to my liking. So we have a counter instead of number of digits. All right, we'll let it hold our hand a little bit. That's fine. So num of digits equals 0. While check if num is 0. Use hint 2. Get rid of last digit of num, use hint 1, and then increment number of digits. So while num is greater than 0, while num greater than 0, we need to divide by 10. Num is greater than 0. Divided by 10. right, so that will divide num by 10. And then we need to... Now you can use one of the methods in the math objects that rounds down to the nearest whole number. Isn't that just round down? My phone died. We'll get there. We're just giving my phone a second here. I'm trying not to go all the way back to the math section on the computer. I promise I'm not looking directly up the answer. I'm just trying to figure out what the terminology is for round down.
Duck Donnie. With the way JS works, it would just make a new double/float so it become the data 627.1, but also something like math.floor would work for rounding down.
Math.floor. 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 Thank you, Donnie. Math.floor. Num. And then, why would we console log the counter here? I don't think we would. No, we wouldn't. Console log num of digits. Of digits. And then okay, so what we have here is let num of digits equal 0, while num is greater than 0, which is going to be 6,271. We're going to divide 6,271 by 10. That's going to be 627? Oh man, my brain, it's going out there. Usually math is my friend. All right, 21, but then 627. Okay, I wanted to say it, but I was afraid to be wrong. All right, 627.1, and then we use math.floor to turn num into 627, and then we don't need this here. This is in the wrong spot. Math.floor num. And then what? We increment num of digits. Right? And then we console log num of digits. What do we got? Timed out. Why did we time out? What did I do? While num is greater than 0, then we need to divide num by 10. Math.floor num and increment. So why is it not stopping? That's where we're at. So it starts and it doesn't stop. No, I'm not getting the solution. Hello, if you make me get this, be upset. while num is greater than 0. Do these things. Do these thingies.
Duck Donnie. Panic basket.
Dude, I feel like a panic basket right now. That looks correct. So does our digit just never fucking get to 0 before it times out? Is that our issue? If you already found a way to get rid of the last digit of the number, let's say you have the number 6,721. You can do 6,721 divided by 10 to get rid of the last digit. Yeah, and then from there, we got rid of the last digit again. And then it should be running again.
Duck Donnie.
You're missing something on the same level of forgetting to put a semicolon for devs. I'm missing something. You're missing something on the same level of forgetting to put a semicolon for devs. Break. I'm just kidding. Getting to put some that on the same level of forgetting to put a semicolon. Really? So it's not necessarily that something is wrong. I forgot something. You know, to you,
Duck Donnie. It's the reason the number bar that is passed into the method is never getting to 0.
Okay. It's the reason the num var is never getting to 0. It is the reason that the num variable is not that is passed into the method is never getting to 0. Give me 1 second. All right, sorry, I need to grab my vape. All right, it's the reason the number variable that is passed into the method is never getting to 0. Okay, so let number of digits, here's our 0. Because we need to start at 0. While number is greater than 0, then while number is greater than 0, we need to use a variable num, divide it by 10, but it's never getting to 0, you say. Math.floor num. Oh, wait. So while num is greater than 0, we divide num by 10, and then we do math.floor, and we pass in num, which should put it down to 627. And because it's at 627, we add a digit to num of digits. Okay. So maybe I don't understand the while loop part.
Duck Donnie. Since you can't debug with console.log, since you can't run it indefinitely, if you were to print number it would constantly print 6271.
Really? It would right now it would constantly print 6271. So it's not dividing.
Duck Donnie. It is dividing, that number is just never assigned to anything.
It is dividing. The number is just never assigned to anything. You mean num is never assigned to a number?
Duck Donnie. Number is put into the while loop as 6271. You divide 6271/10 equals 627.1. Then you math.floor 6271 and check while 6271 0.
Num is put into the while loop as 6271. Yes. You divide 6271 by 10 equals 627.1. Then you math.floor 6270. Okay. num equals num divided by 10.
Duck Donnie. Pok Pikachu, Pok Pikachu, Pok Pikachu.
Oh no, daily code execution limit has been reached. Upgrade to pro to learn with no limits. We trust Donnie here. We trust Donnie that it's right. We were a little off. So
Duck Donnie.
that's what I wrote a
while ago. Let counter equals 0 if number equals 0, number equals null, console.log 0 while number 0
greater than 0,
counter plus equals 1 number
1.
equals math.floor number /10 console.log counter.
Okay, without that reading in my ear. That's what I wrote a while ago. Let counter equals 0 if num equals 0 or num equals null, then console log 0. While num is greater than 0, add 1 to the counter. Num equals math.floor num divided by 10. Console log that counter. Okay. That's pretty cool. Alright, well, since this is where we kind of get stuck for the day, this is where we're stuck for the day. So I can't submit anymore.
Basically what you got, except I didn't know if they'd give the hidden variables of no number or numbers that are already 0.
Basically what you got, except I didn't know if they'd give the hidden variable of no number or numbers that are already 0. True. Sorry, I was trying to talk louder. I had vape in my mouth. I was vaping as I was reading it. I couldn't talk any louder. It was choking me out. I'm trying to do better about smoking, so slowing down a little bit each day. Typically while Blaze is at work, I try not to smoke unless if I'm like in the car.
Duck Donnie.
But the checking for 0 is kind of irrelevant because it would just skip the while loop, so no math exceptions would throw. But the checking for 0 is kind of irrelevant. It would just skip the while loop. Is that because our while loop is checking if num is greater than 0? So if it's equal to 0, it won't do anything, right?
Duck Donnie.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just wanted to make sure I understood that. Pretty cool stuff to learn! But it looks like we'll be getting to our challenge rehearsal tomorrow. So I'll need my moms in chat if I can. Sorry if my VTuber's been a little wonky for like this past hour. I've just been kind of chilling with my chair to the side. Just trying to chill because, you know, I relax in my seat a lot when I'm really trying to think. But tomorrow, it looks like we'll be doing do while loops. I don't think I've ever touched a do while loop, so that'll be interesting to see. So, but I'm proud. We made it this far. We're on a 3-day streak. We've been getting awards. That was the only one that I used hints on. What was the other one? Oh, would you look at that? I can look at extra tests in this one. But that last one was the only one I think that we used hints on.
Duck Donnie. Do whiles are chill, just remember that the code will always
Always
run first, so you have to create checks that stop certain things from happening if they should happen.
Ooh. Ooh. Okay. Well, that is a job for tomorrow. So like I said, I'm going to try and do these daily. I still have to talk to Blaze about if I can be doing them on her days off, because you know those are her days off. I want to respect those days because we go anywhere between 1 to 3 hours on these. So like right now we're at the 2 hour and 45-minute mark. I do know that we do plan on bringing the gaming stuff back. I know that right now we've been primarily focused on the coding, just because we want to get a few more things in order before we start. Like, we're still dashing every once in a while to try and get from, you know, paycheck to paycheck. She's got her conventions and stuff that she's wanting to go to. And then just all in all, kind of just really working on a lot of our own personal selves. So we will definitely be getting back into the gaming side of things. Just have to be patient with us on that. I do plan on playing League every once in a while. The only reason why Blaze and I haven't been playing is because I've been waiting for her to want to play. And she needs better of a desk setup, so that's another thing that we're trying to resolve. And then also just house stuff altogether. You know, get the house looking a lot better than it has been. So we're working on being people.
The Rift needs NA's number 1 Caitlyn.
The Rift needs NA's number 1 Caitlyn. I will make sure that she knows that you said that. I've been seeing Kate has been being used a lot. Like, I'm still keeping up with the esports scene, as you can tell. You know, I'm esports betting every day. But it also looks like I might have to bring her a drink too. Oh, my avatar just fell. But yeah, she said there's nothing at her work
Duck
to drink.
Donnie. Low-key, I haven't touched League since like January 1st.
I don't want to go heavy on it like I used to, but I think I do want to go back into my roots of it. I think I want to go back to kind of just one-tricking Heimer for a little bit. Not that I can't play other champs. Like, I definitely proved to myself and a bunch of other people, like, I could play LeBlanc, I could play Diana, you know, I could play a little bit of Syndra. I could play Xin Zhao. So, you know, I definitely proved that I don't have to be a one trick if I don't want to. But I very much enjoyed my Heimer days. I felt that was pretty good. Like, I was being known as the Heimer main, and that made me feel nice, because at least I was known for something. So
Duck Donnie. I spent so many hours grinding for 3 honors Shen and haven't even played a game with it.
Spent so many hours grinding for 3 honors Shen and haven't even played a game with it. Save it for when we go to play. It'll make it even more memorable. Make it even more important. But yeah, I gotta run Blaze a few drinks.
Duck Donnie.
Probably be the next time I play.
Next time I play TBH.
That'd be awesome. I'd love to have as many of y'all as I can. But I also need to get the AF, or not the AFK screen, but like the stream is ending. But it was a pleasure hanging out with you, Donnie, again, and it was a pleasure hanging out with you, Dorkshire, as well, if you can still hear me. I definitely really have been enjoying this and learning, and I appreciate, you know, the patience that y'all have shown through the chat while I'm learning as well, and just these little casual side conversations and everything too. It's definitely felt very nice, and I hope to continue to grow and learn in, you know, the software engineering side of things, so that way we can move into fields that you know, that I would like to move on into. I still very much suffer from the imposter syndrome, and I feel like, you know, with the stream, with going through these things, it also kind of helps people see like how my brain struggles with the ways that certain things are worded. So that way, hopefully as a group, we can all come together and be like, hey, you know, let's figure out how to fix this problem together. And, you know, we'll figure it out. Only time will tell. But for now, I leave you all a nice farewell. Bye!